Between Shades of Grey, Chapter 11. The sun began to set. Mother braided my wavy, sweaty hair, and I tried to count how many hours we'd spent in the prison box, and wondered how many more we had to go. People ate the food they had brought, and most shared, some didn't. "Lena, that loaf of bread," Mother began. I shook my head. Was that loaf of bread still there, sitting on my desk? "I don't have the bread," I replied. "All right," said Mother, taking some food to Ona. Her lips pursed. She was disappointed. Andrews sat with his knees drawn up, smoking a cigarette. He was staring at me. "How old are you?" I asked. 17. He continued to stare. "How long have you been smoking?" "What are you, the police?" he said, and looked away. Night came, and it was dark in our wooden box. Mother said we should be thankful they left the door open, but I wasn't about to thank the NKVD for anything. Every few minutes I heard their boots march by. I couldn't sleep. I wondered if there was a moon out, and if so, what it looked like. Papa said scientists speculated that from the moon the earth looked blue, and that night I believed it. I would draw it blue and heavy with tears. Where was Papa? I closed my eyes. Something bumped my shoulder. I opened my eyes, and it was lighter in the train car. Andrew stood above me, nudging me with his shoe. He put his finger to his lips and motioned with his head. I looked over at Mother. She slept, clutching her coat tightly around her. Jonas was gone. My head snapped around, looking for my brother. Andrews kicked me again and waved me forward. I got up and stepped between the human bundles toward the door of the train car. Jonas stood at the opening, clutching the side, and Andrews said that an hour ago a train had come in. Someone told him it was full of men, whispered Jonas. Maybe Papa is on it. Who told you that? I asked Andrews. Don't worry who told me, he said. Let's look for our fathers. I looked down off the train. The sun had just appeared on the horizon. If Papa was at the train station, I wanted to find him. I'll go and let you know what I find out, I said. Where's the train that pulled in? In back of us, but you're not going, said Andrews. I'll go. How are you going to find my father? You don't know what he looks like, I snapped. Are you always so pleasant? Said Andrews. Maybe you can both go, suggested Jonas. I can go by myself, I said. I'll find Papa and bring him to our car. This is ridiculous. We're wasting time. I shouldn't have woken you up, said Andrews. I looked out of the train car. The guard was 100 feet away, his back to me. I hung down off the edge and dropped quietly to the ground, scrambling under the train. Andrews beat me there, and suddenly we heard a yelp and saw Jonas jumping down. Andrews grabbed him, and we tried to hide between one of the wheels, peeking under the train. The NKVD officer stopped and turned around. I put my hand over Jonas's mouth, and we crouched near the wheel, afraid to breathe. The officer resumed walking. Andrews peeked out the other side and waved us on. I crawled out. The back of our train car had Russian writing on it. Thieves and prostitutes, Andrews whispered. That's what it says. Thieves and prostitutes. Our mothers were in that car, along with a teacher, a librarian, elderly people, and a newborn baby. Thieves and prostitutes. Jonas looked at the writing. I grabbed his hand, thankful he couldn't read Russian. I wished he had stayed on the train. Another line of red cattle wagons sat on tracks behind us. The doors, however, were closed and locked with large bolts. We looked around and then ran under the other train, dodging the splatters of waste. Andrews knocked on the bottom near a bathroom hole, and a shadow appeared. What's your father's name? Andrews asked me. Kostas Vilkas, I said quickly. We're looking for Petrus Arvidas and Kostas Vilkas, he whispered. The head disappeared, and we heard scuffling on the floor of the car. The head reappeared. Not in this car. Be careful, children. Be very quiet. We scurried from car to car, dodging droppings and knocking. Each time a head disappeared, I felt my stomach tighten. Please, 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 Jonas would say, and then we'd move on, with warnings of caution or messages for loved ones. We reached the 7th car. The man's head disappeared. It was quiet inside. Please, 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 said Jonas. Jonas? Papa, we said, trying not to raise our voices. A match scraped across the wooden plank, and Papa's face appeared in the hole. He looked gray, and his eye was badly bruised. "Papa, we're in a car over there," began Jonas. "Come with us." "Shh," said Papa. "I can't, and you shouldn't be here. Where is your mother?" "In the car," I said, happy yet horrified to see my father's bludgeoned face. "Are you all right?" "I'm okay," he said. "Are you okay? Is your mother okay?" "We're okay," I said. "She doesn't know we're here," said Jonas. "We wanted to find you, Papa. They broke into our house and—" "I know. They're attaching our train to yours." "Where are they taking us?" I asked. "To Siberia, I think." Siberia? That couldn't be right. Siberia was half a world away. There was nothing in Siberia. I heard Papa talking inside the train car, and his arm came out of the hole holding some scrunched up material. "Take this jacket and these socks. You'll need them." More noise came from inside. Papa handed out another jacket, 2 shirts, and more socks. He then handed down a large piece of ham. "Children, split this. Eat it," Papa said. I hesitated and stared at the ham my father handed through the same hole people used as a toilet. "Put it in your mouths right now," he said. I tore the thick piece of ham in quarters and handed some to Jonas and Andrews. I put the last piece in my dress pocket for Mother. "Lena, take this and give it to your mother. Tell her it's okay to sell it if she has to." Papa's hands came down to me, holding his gold wedding band. I stared at it. "Lena, do you understand? Tell her it's in case she needs money." I wanted to tell him we had already traded a pocket watch for Jonas. I nodded and put the ring on my thumb, not able to swallow the ham past the lump in my throat. "Sir," said Andrews, "is Petrus Arvidas in your car?" "I'm sorry, son, he's not," said Papa. "This is very dangerous. You must all get back to your train." I nodded. "Jonas?" "Yes, Papa?" Jonas sat, peering up at the hole. "You're very brave to have come. You must all stay together. I know you'll take good care of your sister and mother while I'm away." "I will, Papa, I promise," said Jonas. "When will we see you?" Papa paused. "I don't know. Hopefully soon." I clutched the bundle of clothes. Tears began dropping down my cheeks. "Don't cry, Lena. Courage. You can help me." I looked at him. "Do you understand?" My father looked at Andrews, hesitant. "You can help me find you," he whispered. "I'll know it's you, just like you know Munch, but you must be very careful." "But," I started, uncertain. "I love you both. Tell your mother I love her. Tell her to think of the oak tree. Say your prayers, children, and I will hear them. Pray for Lithuania. Now run back. Hurry." My chest hurt and my eyes burned. I started to walk but stumbled. Andrews caught me. "Are you okay?" he asked. His face looked soft, concerned. "I'm fine," I said, quickly wiping my eyes and pulling free of his grasp. "Let's go find your father." "No, you heard him. Hurry, run back. Tell your mother what he said." "But what about your father?" I asked. "I'm going to try a few more and I'll meet you back at our car. Just go, Lena. You're wasting time." I hesitated. "Are you scared to go alone?" "No, I'm not scared," I said. "My father said we should stay together, but we'll go by ourselves." I snatched Jonas by the hand. "We don't need him, right, Jonas?" Jonas stumbled, looking over his shoulders at Andrews. Chapter 12. "Halt!" a voice commanded. We were so close, nearly under our train car. NKVD boots marched toward us, and I tucked my thumb and Papa's wedding band into my palm. "Dvai!" the voice yelled. Jonas and I crept out from under the car. "Lena! Jonas!" yelled Mother, leaning out of the train. The officer pointed his gun at Mother, signaling for her to be quiet. He then circled around us, his boots coming closer with each turn. I felt Jonas edge up beside me. I tightened my fist, hoping the guard would see Papa's ring. "We dropped some things down the bathroom hole," I lied, lifting up the bundle. Mother translated my words into Russian for the guard. The officer looked at the socks on top of the heap I was holding. He grabbed Jonas and began searching his pockets. I thought of the ham in my dress. How could I explain a slice of ham in my pocket when we were all hungry? The guard shoved us both to the ground. He waved his rifle around our faces, yelling in Russian, and I huddled near Jonas, staring down the barrel of his gun. I closed my eyes. Please, no. He kicked gravel at our legs and then spat. Divide! Pointing toward the train car. Mother's face was ashen. She did a poor job of hiding her fear this time. Her hands trembled and she was nearly panting. You could have been killed! We're okay, Mother, announced Jonas. His voice shook. We went to find Papa. Where is Andrus? Mrs. Arvidas looked over our shoulders. He came with us, I said. But where is he? She demanded. He wanted to look for his father, I said. His father? She sighed deeply. Why doesn't he believe me? I've told him again and again that his father... She turned around and began to cry. I realized I had made a great mistake, and I should not have left Andrus behind. We found him, Mother. We found Papa, said Jonas. People crowded toward us, and they wanted to know how many men were on the train and if we saw their loved ones. He said he thinks we're going to Siberia, Jonas reported, and he gave us some ham. The 3 of us ate it, but we saved a piece for you. Lena, give Mother the piece of ham. I reached in my pocket and handed the piece of ham to Mother. She saw it, the ring on my thumb. In case you need money, I said. He said you could sell it. And you said to remember the oak tree, said Jonas. Mother took the ring off my thumb and put it to her lips. She began to cry. Don't cry, Mother, said Jonas. Girl, shouted the bald man. What else did you bring to eat? Lena, give this piece of ham to Mr. Stallis, said Mother, sniffing. He's hungry. Mr. Stallis, the bald man, had a name. I moved toward him, and his withered arms were green and purple with bruises. I held out the piece of ham. That's your mother's. What else do you have? That's all he gave me. How many cars were on that train? I don't know. Maybe 20? He said we're going to Siberia? Yes. He's probably right, your father, he said. Mother's crying subsided, and I held out a piece of ham again. That's your mother's. Make sure she eats it. I don't like ham anyway. Now leave me alone. He wouldn't come with us, my brother explained to Mrs. Arvidas. He and Lena started fighting, and he said he was going to check more cars. We weren't fighting, I interrupted. If they find him wandering around and discover he's the son of an officer, said Mrs. Arvidas. She hid her face in her hands. The gray-haired man shook his head and wound his watch. I felt guilty. Why didn't I stay with Andrus or insist he come back with us? I looked out of the train car, hoping to see him. 2 Soviets pulled a priest down the platform. His hands were bound, and his cassock was dirty. Why a priest? But then, why any of us?